Thank you, Dr. Kumar, and good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, based upon where you are across the world. It is indeed a pleasure and a privilege for me to join this particular webinar hosted by JNU and accessing the entire community of alumni, not only from within India, but from everywhere else, wherever you are. I also hope all of you are safe and healthy and hearty under these very trying circumstances, and that every one of you is also practicing the necessary safeguards that need to be practiced during these difficult times. As the previous speakers have so beautifully spoken on the topic of self-reliance. Self-reliance is everything about ensuring that India, Make in India, is going to enable us to prosper, to grow, not only from an economic point of view, but also from a societal point of view. But after all, we are a country of 1.3 billion people. We have more than 10,000 universities and colleges. We have 39,000 colleges. We have 10,000 universities. We have 1.4 million schools in our country. We have over 150 million students who are going to be entering into the workplace over the next 5 to 10 years. We have what they call as a demographic dividend, where over 65% of our country is under 35 years old. And therefore, this is the envy of many a country across the world. Everybody really envies India that we have this demographic dividend. And that is one of the very strong pillars that the Honorable Prime Minister also referred to in his 5 pillars for ensuring self-reliance and Atmanirbhar Bharat. How do we leverage the demographic dividend so that our young, youthful energy is harnessed for the benefits of our nation, for the benefits of the community, for the benefits of the society? We are also a country which has been one of the fastest growing economies of the world. But as the Honorable Vice Chancellor had mentioned a little earlier, we do need to create a vibrant culture of innovation and an ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship in India, because without that, the best of the country, the creme de la creme, go to places where they are able to realize their potential. And that is how many Indians who go abroad, whether it is to the United States or UK or anywhere else, thrive and blossom because they are able to realize their full potential in an ecosystem that enables them access to the latest of technologies and the latest of capabilities in starting their own companies. And therefore, it is no surprise that we have a Sundar Pichai heading Google, Satya Nadella heading Microsoft, Shantanu Narayan heading Adobe, and we have many of our Indians, including JNU alumni, who are leading in various universities, engineers, doctors, scientists, philosophers, artists, you name it. They all do extraordinarily well there when you have a vibrant ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship. So we do need to provide the same ecosystem here so that we will have thousands of Satya Nadellas and Sundar Pichai's bloom. We will have 1,000 Abdul Kalams bloom from remote towns of our country. From a humble town, from a small little town of Rameshwaram, came one of the finest scientists the world has ever seen. We have had people like Ramanujam come from Kumbakonam. So the issue is, we do have 1.4 million schools in our country. And we have all these young students spread over 733 districts, and we have more than 600,000 villages in our country. How do we ensure that a country which has still 22% below the poverty line, how do we ensure that a country which is 44% agri-economy base, and how do we ensure that we have 733 districts, out of which 115 are aspirational districts in our country? How do we carry them forward in order to build a self-reliant India? And the COVID-19 crisis has demonstrated in a very stark manner the need for self-reliance, the need for us to be able to uniformly develop our country across the length and breadth of our country, the need for the society to address challenges that a massive disruption in supply chain can cause. We do not want to be at the mercy of importing vital equipment or vital machinery or vital electronics that is needed for sustainability of our future. So we do need, and we have an opportunity, because the second pillar that the Honorable Prime Minister remarked is the pillar of demand. We are very fortunate that not only we have a country which is having a demographic dividend, which can provide a supply of intellectual capability and manufacturing capability to the country, but we also have the demand situation where we need to fulfill the demand of more than 1.3 billion people. And these are demands on education, There is a demand on healthcare access. There is a demand on affordable housing. There is a demand for clean drinking water and sanitation. There is a demand for waste management, and there is a demand for agriculture and agri products to be created. There is a demand for 70% of our industry, which is an MSME based industry where more than 70% of our workers are both in the formal and informal category are in the MSME sector. There is a demand for them to be creating solutions in order to fulfill the demand of the consumers who are the billion people in our country. So therefore, now the fourth pillar that he has talked about in order to build a self-reliant India is leveraging technology. We are living in a technologically complex world, but a technologically advanced world where technology is reshaping and changing everything that we see. We are able to reimagine a new world leveraging technology, both digital technology and the emerging technologies like 3D printers, robotics, IoT devices, miniaturized electronics, augmented virtual reality, artificial intelligence, blockchain, nanotechnologies, and so on. And these technologies have become available, affordable, accessible, and advanced. And that is available to us to be able to bring this huge change of innovation and entrepreneurship in our country. And therefore, the fifth pillar, which he talked about, and which is economy. How do we fast track the growth of the economy of the country? And the growth of economy of this country can only happen through the uniform growth of our country across all the cities. We have 8 tier 1 cities, but we have identified 100 plus smart cities which need to be addressed. These 100 smart cities should become the hubs of innovation, should become the hubs of job creation, should become the hubs where people don't have to migrate into 8 tier 1 cities, but they have the opportunity to leverage these 100 plus or 200 plus smart cities for the development of a self-reliant India. So what we need, therefore, is to be able to create an ecosystem and promote two things. One, how do we create an innovative mindset in our people? Second, how do we ensure that we create an entrepreneurial ecosystem that allows this innovative mindset to express itself through startups, through MSME enterprises, and through the expression of their potential into creating large companies. And that is why the Atal Innovation Mission has been set up to drive innovation and entrepreneurship from a school level, not starting just from the universities or from the industry. We start at a school level. A very holistic approach has been taken by the government of India under the auspices of the NITI Aayog to create an ecosystem starting from school, extending to universities, going into the industry, going into every state and district, and going into even the NGOs which are operating in our country. And so how we are doing it is through 5 major initiatives that have been currently launched. At a school level, we have launched what are known as thousands of Atal tinkering labs. These are dedicated innovation workspaces in schools where the latest of technologies like 3D printers, robotics, IoT, miniaturized electronics, and augmented virtual reality, do-it-yourself kits are being made available to every student so that they can learn and tinker with these technologies at a school level between grade 6 to grade 12 and start creating innovations for problems they see in and around the community. Now, in the process, we not only expose our young children and transform them from a rote learning mindset, which all of us have been used to and with which we have grown up so far, to convert that rote learning mindset into a problem-solving, innovative mindset and an innovative culture that permeates through every school student. And when they come into universities, we are giving them the opportunities of creating startups through setting up world-class incubators. Now, we have already launched, we have selected 14,000 schools across the country for setting up adult tinkering labs. 5,000 of them are fully operational today with more than 2.5 million students exposed to all these latest technologies. We run tinkering challenges, tinkering marathons, and tinkering fests. And it would be amazing to see in the last marathon that we ran, more than 50,000 young students participated, more than 8,000 actual innovations using 3D printing, IoT, and so on were created. And the top 200 innovations are being recognized. And these students are getting an opportunity to do student entrepreneurship programs with universities, with the incubators that we have, and with corporate partners who have enlisted their support. Now, at the college level, at the university level, and at the institution level, we are setting up hundreds of incubators. These are called Atal incubators. And I'm very proud to mention that JNU has also got selected for an Atal incubator implementation, and they will be launching their incubator as soon as the lockdown ends. Now, these incubators, every incubator will foster 25 to 30 startups in areas of focus related to what is needed in our country. So there would be agri-tech incubators, or there would be biotech incubators, healthcare incubators, or they could be incubators related to e-commerce, or even to the fishing industry if they are located in a fishing coastal district, and so on. We have launched 100 incubators. We expect 5,000 startups to come up within the next 4 years in diverse areas, and all of them are targeted to become world-class startups because of the support that the government is giving. We give up to 10 crores of grant to each of these incubators for them to be able to foster the startups and even provide angel funding and seed funding so that these startups have an environment where they can be supported during the various valleys of death, as they call. Now, the third initiative that we have done is we have launched what are known as Atal New India Challenges. And these New India Challenges are along with ministries in the government, so that these challenges are to create products and create solutions which are needed in our country, either from an economic point of view or from a societal benefit point of view. So we have launched 24 challenges with the Ministries of Health, Ministry of Agriculture, Drinking Water and Sanitation, Ministry of Road and Transportation, and so on. The fourth initiative that we have done is we are launching what are known as Atal Community Innovation Centers. And this is to serve the unserved, underserved regions of our country. We cannot just restrict the growth of innovation and the benefits of innovation to tier 1 metro cities. We have to see, if we want to become a really vibrant, self-reliant India, we have to see that the benefits of innovation extend to every nook and corner of our country. And therefore, we are setting up these Atal Community Innovation Centers in the remote districts, in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, so that they become the hubs of innovation to spread the effects of innovation to all the other communities in and around where they are located. And finally, we are launching what is known as ARISE, Applied Research and Innovation for Small Enterprises. And this is targeted towards the MSME industry, so that the MSME industry is going to benefit because of stimulation of innovation. This is along the lines of the US SBIR program, the Small Business Innovation and Research Program in the United States, modeled for India, where we have 2 phases. Phase 1 is from idea to prototype, and phase 2 is from prototype to product. Now, to support all of this, we have enlisted tremendous public-private sector partnerships. So we have more than 50 to 70 corporates who are now helping India, helping Atal Innovation Mission in Atal Tinkering Lab by adopting them, by co-investing in them, and by leveraging their CSR funds for the innovation initiatives that are there in the country. As the Vice Chancellor said, most of the alumni who are outside and the diaspora who are outside have an opportunity to become part of this mentoring network that we are setting up. We have launched a national network called Mentors of India, Mentors of Change. More than 10,000 people have registered on this Mentor India network, and these mentors are voluntary mentors who are associated with our tinkering labs, the startups, the incubators, so that they can mentor them and give the benefits of their experience, their knowledge, their capability for the benefit of the innovator. All of this is going towards making a self-reliant India. In order to make a self-reliant India, we have to be able to reduce our imports, increase our exports, leveraging technology and leveraging the knowledge capital, the intellectual capital that this country has, and which many other countries don't have. And therefore, there is a unique opportunity for all of us to collectively see that the Naya Bharat, or the new India that is in the making post this COVID-19 crisis, gives us a special impetus, because at this point in time, it is a level playing world. All the countries are struggling at this point in time as to how do we deal in a post-COVID world where the lockdown can be extended indefinitely, and we have so many challenges for supply chain as well as for self-reliance. But India has all the ingredients which go towards making self-reliance a real possibility. And that will give the opportunity for India from applying their local ingenuity for global impact. And therefore, my hope and my urge is to all the people who are on this call, become part of the innovation bandwagon in this country, because without innovation and without entrepreneurship, all the 5 pillars need that. And without that, it will not succeed. And India has a great opportunity to become a land of job creators, a nation of innovators. We can become one of the most innovative nations of the world. And that is what we have all set out to be. And that will bring benefits not only from an economic point of view, but also addressing all the social issues that we have. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity for participating in this webinar.